Welcome back, everyone, for another edition of Industry Talks. I'm here with my good friend and local, let's call it industry celebrity, businessman, entrepreneur, a man that has inspired me and many others in the hospitality industry here in Miami and in South Florida, Angel Febres. Angel, good to be here with you, man. Thank you.
How are you, my brother?
I am doing phenomenal, man.
Good.
Before we dig into everyone and everything that we're doing, I gotta say we're at Yaya, his new spot, coastal cuisine spot here on the water. Man, this place is beautiful, and we'll get into the conversation, but I really want to get the name of your furniture maker and and, and I want to dig in on a few other things here. But this place is designed incredible, man. You did a great job.
Thank you. Thank you. Actually, the design was done by Saladino Designs. Sean and I have been friends for a really long time. I got introduced to him by Conrad and Bill Spector, and he did an incredible job here designing Yaya. And of course, I executed his design really well.
Awesome, man. It is great, and I know a thing or two about being on the water, and I think you nailed this pretty good.
Yeah.
Before we dig into this spot, man, for people that don't know you, the way I do, and the way a lot of locals in Miami do, how'd you get into hospitality and the business, and like, what was your first gig?
Oof. Well, I'll say first gig was promoting nightclubs. Me and a friend of mine teamed up with Bill and Conrad, and we started doing after hours party. Oof.
After hours.
This was 1996, 95.
Okay.
Zen nightclub.
Yeah.
Remember Zen
I
nightclub?
remember Zen.
Yeah. So we did a couple parties with Bill Spector and Conrad after hours. And then slowly but surely, it developed into full nightclub promotions company.
Yeah, I remember. Do you went straight from that to Smac, or was it something else between that and Smac?
There was something else. So same friend I spoke about, Giovanni, passed away in a motorcycle accident.
Sorry to hear that.
It's all good. Long time ago. But we met a mutual friend. His name is Marco Antonio Garcia.
We love Mo.
Yeah. And, for a while we were going out, doing nightclubs. And one day I turned to Mo and I said, Mo, if you realize everybody in this nightclub we brought to the table. So how about we start doing some promotions, get together with Conrad and Bill and build something together. And that's where Smac Entertainment came about.
You guys had the sickest parties, man. I remember it like it was yesterday. With the few brain cells I have left, I remember all those amazing parties. I mean, you guys took off. That was on fire. What was Smac's first gig, first party? Was it the ones at Sweet, or was it before that? I mean,
It was before. I want to say, if you remember a very long time ago, the name Sean Lewis.
Yes.
He owned a nightclub called, and then it became something after that. Was it Crave?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Mo and myself, we started doing Thursday nights there, and the place really took off. And then Kenny and Cal at Crowbar kind of got a wind of us.
Yep.
We came together with Bill and Conrad, and we created the show at Crowbar Thursday nights.
That was incredible. I remember the flyers had Polaroid pictures. Like, that was...
Yes. Well, that was Sweet. That was afterwards.
That was after?
That was after the show. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I stand corrected. Oh,
Yeah. The show Crowbar was mainly more of a hip hop party.
yeah.
We were one of the first guys to be able to play hip hop in Miami Beach.
Yeah.
And from there, we started doing 7 days a week,
You know,
different nightclubs.
those hip hop parties were... You guys were the first ones, not only to do hip hop, but I believe you did it right. The crowd was right. The music was right. It didn't sway one way or the other. It felt very like inclusive for everybody.
No, and look at it was mainly about the music. Bill Spector had a ton of connections with the New York scene and the New York DJs. And Bill Spector would have a weekly rotation of New York DJs. And that's what made our night stand out from everybody else's parties. We played, you know, the right mix of music with the hip hop DJs.
Yeah, it was beautiful bottles, beautiful people. It was urban. But it was like tasteful. It had preppy people from Miami. It had people from Hialeah, people from the Gables, people from the beach, the surfers. Like you had
Yeah.
everybody.
We had it covered. We had photographers, models, retail, clothing store hosts. We had it. We had it all.
Are people still promoting today the way they used to promote back in the day?
I don't think so. Once the big nightclubs came about and they started dismantling promotions companies, it kind of went away.
You know, I just remembered, at least back then, there was no social media. I used to have to call 100 people, 200 people a week just to get them to roll deep. I mean,
We used to hold down an office, and what we would do weekly was fax. I don't know if people know what a fax is, but we used to fax the hotels,
yeah,
and the hotels would fax us back all of their guest lists.
yeah, for
Yeah.
the concierge departments would just
Yeah.
handle back their guest list.
Yeah. I remember when texting first came out, I was like, wait, I don't have to run to the front of the club anymore to grab somebody. I can just text the doorman to let him in.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Texting changed the game.
Texting changed the game.
Texting was huge. Texting was huge. Except those first phones that were texting, you had to press like the key
The
three
three letters.
times. The three
Yeah.
le-
But even that was better than running to the front of the.
Oh man, it is. And then because you get nailed by 7 other people at the door.
Yeah.
Oh man, that brings back memories. Looking back, there were so many great parties you had, man. Top 3 best parties that you produced or had something to do with.
Top 3 best parties would definitely be the show Thursday at Crowbar. That was a 10 or 11-year run.
That was a nice one.
Everybody that came to Miami came through there. Second party I would say would be Sweet. Thursday nights right after we finished Crowbar, we moved over to Mark Lemko's spot.
Yep.
It was called Sweet,
That was
and
hot for a minute. That was
we had an incredible run there. Not as long, but it was probably one of the better parties we did. And then obviously everybody knows home cooking.
wow, home cooking. Actually, oof. I
Yeah.
just got goosebumps.
Yeah.
I just got goosebumps because I just
And home cooking was a party that was started with Mark Leventhal, Bill Spector, Conrad. And then as the years went on, they kept adding people like me and Mo. We ran a place called Rain for a long time.
yep.
And that was the Tuesday spot for
That Tuesday spot
5
was
years.
great. That Tuesday spot at home cooking. You guys used to do free burgers, I believe, for the staff, or not, but not for the models and the locals and the.
We did a free barbecue from 10 to 12 and an open bar from 10 to 12. And that's all it took back in those days to be able to have an incredible running party.
You guys smashed that home cooking party for so many
Yeah.
years. I mean, I looking back, it's almost like a household name for all of us who have been in Miami and party for so long. It's like we need to create something on a Tuesday like a home cooking. It's got that adjective sort of
Yeah.
descriptive. It's a thing.
From anybody who went out to South Beach or Miami Beach between 1994 and 2008, they knew home cooking.
Yeah, I remember. I never got there in time to get the burgers, but but it was. I remembered. Tommy Strangey,
Absolutely.
flipping the burgers,
Flipping the burgers in the back.
right? Shelly Novak.
Shelly Novak.
My God. Oh,
Very well-known personalities in the home cooking world.
I mean, wow. I'm sorry. You're taking me back down memory lane. And I'm like, oh
Yeah.
my God.
I mean, you're talking 22, 23, almost 30 years ago for the other home cooking parties. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Those were great, man. I think those are some of the parties that at least inspired me to always continue in the business. So first of all, thank you for that.
Okay.
Um, Looking back at all those parties, and you've always had a wide range of people coming through. I used to see a lot of celebrities in those parties, but I never saw you trying to chase the clout or chase that picture, but I mean, there's gotta be at least somebody you're like, "Oh my god, I can't believe this person showed up."
I mean, there's definitely a few that stand out for sure. Um, I remember one night, Thursday night, the show at Crowbar, Michael Jordan comes in.
Number 23.
Yeah. And he's standing on the mezzanine. And at one point in the night, everybody just stops and looks up as if they're looking at God. And the whole party stopped.
I mean, he was a
And
guy
it
to
was just
everybody.
Michael Jordan's here. That's definitely one of the highlights. Um, we did a Sunday night party at Mint with Roberto Khan. Great guy. He was incredible. Ran the nightlife scene for a while. And we had Chelsea Clinton come into our Sunday night party with Secret Service. And there's Chelsea Clinton doing all of this and Secret Service a couple steps away. So those are two of the, but if I had to say one of the bigger ones as well was one night at Foxhole for, if I remember correctly, it was Mayweather Pacquiao fight.
Got it.
And sure enough, one of our friends, Guy, who is very close with Jay-Z, brought us Jay-Z and Beyonce. And what I always tell everybody, it's cool to have Jay-Z in the party, but if you have Jay-Z and Beyonce, that's a whole different level.
That
Yeah.
those definitely awestruck. Definitely awestruck at Michael Jordan and the Jay-Z and Beyonce thing. And I got to be honest, no matter what your political affiliation is, the fact you have Secret Service inside the building,
Whoa.
I think that's like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's pretty, that's pretty, I mean, I don't know. That to me, that's an accomplishment in itself, just having those type of names rolling through there. I remember being in some of those parties and just, I mean, every single professional athlete you could possibly imagine. I
Absolutely.
mean, hip hop artists, big DJs from around the world, and then the local community too. I mean, if there's ever been a group of, let's call it promoters from, and I hate, from that era, let's call it, or back in the day, as we would say, there's rarely a group of team of promoters that received a much local love and support that you guys did. I think a lot of it has to do with the relationships you guys cultivated.
We did. We worked on a lot of relationships and we made sure that no matter what, one of our main things was to make sure that if a celebrity came into our party, they weren't bothered by the paparazzi and the whole, staff knew to leave them alone, and that's what kept them coming back.
Yeah, man. So you had all this success with the parties, but at a certain point, I know me, you feel, damn, the owner's making all the money. Like you always feel that way, right? And you guys and you specifically and your partners all made the leap from being promoters, and I still think we're all promoters always, no matter what.
Who always will be.
But eventually you jumped and you went into ownership.
Yeah.
What triggered it, or it was a natural next step?
No, look, I'll tell you, for a long time, when we were promoting nightclubs, people would be like, Angel, let me give you the money. Mo, let me give you the money. Conrad, let me give you the money. Let's go open up a new place. And we'd be looking at them like, I'm walking out of this building with like the 20s wouldn't fit in my pocket,
Yep.
from the door money. And like, why would I take on that responsibility?
Yeah.
But sure enough, you get older, you get married, you have kids, your friends stop coming out to the parties. And then it's like, okay, well, we got to figure out the next move. And
Yeah.
operations is the next move.
It is.
So we were able to, put a few guys together and open up Foxhole as our first venue. And Foxhole did incredibly well for a good 12 years.
Foxhole, I gotta tell you, man, that little red light, that hidden door in the back, Foxhole for me was one of, if not my most favorite neighborhood, let's call it bar or place or hangout, where I used to unplug, forget about my stress, and go have cocktails at and drink and maybe see old friends and old friends from the industry. For me, it was Foxhole. I mean, you guys had a great run there.
We had an incredible run. It was like the anti-club when we first opened, like, yeah, if you wanted to buy a bottle, we would sell it to you, but it wasn't what we were really going after.
It was just such a cool vibe. I couldn't wait to leave sometimes our parties that we had going on separately, just to sneak over there and have some drinks.
No, it was the beginning place and the ending place
Yeah.
for anybody going to Miami Beach.
It
So
was
you would go there before you went to the big nightclub, and after the big nightclub, you came back and finished your night with us.
You opened Foxhole when?
December 2011.
2011 was a great year.
Yeah.
And then it closed. You had a run. You have a good run.
We had a good 10, 11-year run.
22, 21?
We closed it during COVID.
During COVID. Okay, there you go.
Yeah. Got a bunch of new guys to invest in us. Did an incredible design, and now we just opened up about 8 weeks ago.
I was about to bring that up. You just reopened Foxhole
8 weeks ago.
8 weeks ago? Jeez. I haven't been. I apologize. I'm not drinking how I used to.
Okay.
But I saw pictures. Design looks great. What's different and what's the same with the new Foxhole you have going on right now?
Foxhole is, again, local neighborhood bar. We'll turn it a little nightclub-ish on the weekends, Friday and Saturday. But for the most part, it's your local neighborhood bar for that whole West Avenue community. And anybody in the industry that's looking to get out of work and just go for, their drinking hole.
Yeah, they're late
Yeah.
night happy hour.
Exactly.
Is it still the red light in the back?
There is still a light in the back. I believe it's purple now.
It's purple now?
Yeah.
Oh man, I gotta make it back over there. So Foxhole went well. What was the next move after Foxhole?
So from the success of Foxhole, we noticed back in 2011 that there was a huge void in the West Avenue community.
Yep.
And we had this incredible concept called Drunken Dragon. And there was a space available at the same strip mall where we had Foxhole, and we went ahead and took the lease, built it out, and
Drunken Dragon had a sick run. I mean, I went there a few times. The food was phenomenal. I mean, so I gotta be honest with you. Sometimes I stopped going because I just felt bad trying to call to get favors for reservations because
no,
it was always that busy. You guys,
okay, we had
you had a good run.
we had an incredible run. Incredible run. For a restaurant, anybody who knows Miami Beach, for a restaurant to be open 10 years in Miami Beach, that's like dinosaur years.
That is.
So,
That is. And then eventually you made a move off the beach after that, right? What was Drunken Dragon ran its course, COVID came and went, everyone took some hits. I mean, I think
Yeah.
hits, right?
So look, for a long time, everybody was like, oh, you guys have all this stuff going on the beach. You should venture off the beach. Wynwood is going nuts.
Yeah.
And, I went to Wynwood and you do your little research, and I started driving by on, what was it? Art Walk or whatever it was that it was called.
Fridays are what?
Yeah. And I noticed that there was a ton of lines outside of every venue.
Yep.
So it was like, okay, there's not enough venues here. Let's go ahead. One of our partners, Tony Garcia.
Tony G, love him.
Tony G, yes. He was able to find us a great lease with a great landlord. And we went ahead and signed the lease and built Racket.
Racket.
And Racket had an incredible 8-year run in Wynwood.
Racket, the times that I went was always super busy, always a great vibe. It reminded me almost like a large version of a Foxhole almost. You can,
kind of, a lot of people thought that. Yeah.
and
Just because we had the bar in the middle and, we always wanted to make it a local neighborhood bar before anything.
there was some really good parties there, at Racket. And I gotta say, shout out to Tony G because he,
Oh, yeah.
NFA,
Yes.
NFA. I mean, these,
Yeah.
yeah, man, and he's killing it in real estate now. I mean,
Going very well. Yeah.
I've stayed in touch with him. At least I feel like don't you feel like you stay in touch with people through social media, even though you don't?
You
Like,
know, I'm just got on social media 6, 7 months ago, but I still text people. I still call people. I
good.
still, if I haven't talked to somebody in 6 months and I'm scrolling down my phone looking for another number and I see, I'll call that person and hey, what's going on? I was thinking of you. Where are you? What are you
One
doing?
was from you in the past.
Absolutely.
And I gotta say that makes a big difference because sometimes people think, like, I was just thinking to myself, you could just like on a picture because he might post a picture surfing somewhere and be like, oh, he's doing great. Let me like on that.
Yeah.
You feel like you could,
I'll see that picture.
yeah,
I'll press the like and I'll still text.
that's amazing, dude.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I gotta go the extra step on that text message.
Yeah.
Um, Racket came and went,
Yeah.
and it was a solid run. I think Wynwood's going through another metamorphosis right now.
It's very similar to south of Fifth.
Yeah,
As soon as the developers get there, it's over for the bars
yeah.
and nightlife.
That's definitely affects it. It's almost like the bars set the trend and the real estate follows.
They do. But then as soon as the real estate comes in, boom, there goes the bar.
Yeah, depending on the residents,
That's a lot, man. Yeah.
that's
And that's a big challenge here in Miami.
and the politicians, they need votes. So as much as they want business, they want votes, and they'll listen to the residents more than they'll listen to
Oh,
a
yeah.
business. I don't necessarily blame them for it. I wish it was another solution.
Hopefully someday we'll get a different solution.
Yeah,
We
I
need it.
I don't know what it is. I You then went from Wynwood and you expanded to A Street.
Yes. So we have this super cool little bar on H Street. It's called Casa Tiki. Um, After Miami Beach, Wynwood, now we're expanding the company, expanding into Little Havana. And 3 weeks before we get ready to open up Casa Tiki, COVID hits.
Mother effer.
And, we took it on the chin, did what we needed to do to keep the lease going and keep our landlords happy. They worked with us. They were
They
great.
did good.
Actually, every landlord we've had has worked with us.
I got to tell you, just to pick. You said that the landlord works with you. I happen to believe that the most important relationship of a business and a hospitality business is that business with that relationship between the landlord and the business and the
tenant,
landlord.
yeah.
It would make or break you. I mean, the fact that you just said that.
Yeah. We've been very, very lucky to have, our Foxhole Drunken Dragon was the same landlord. She did great by us. Racket, she did great by us. And Little Havana, Casa Tiki, she's done great by us. So we've been very lucky.
Man, that must means when things were good, you paid your rent on time.
We did. And even when things weren't good, we did our best to pay our rent on time.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah.
That speaks volumes to the type of business. You guys are relationship guys, so it's almost like
Yeah.
the relationship even more
It's
important.
really all about the relationship.
It is. You have to prioritize the relationships more. You have to prioritize the money. I think in a lot of in a lot of situations like that. And Casa Tiki, listen, I've had that COVID time. We had a place I opened and shuttered right away. But you were able to finally get through on the other side. It was hard to get staff. It was, at least
Staff
it was.
not so hard.
No?
Only because, again, people were just kind of waiting on us to like, hey, when are you guys reopening? When are you guys reopening? And sure enough, as soon as we reopened, we had our staff.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Holy moly. Did A Street turn out fruitful? Did it not?
No. It's very
Even keel.
very even. Um after a couple years of running the joint, we decided to take on some new partners.
Got it.
We brought in Will from Better Days at Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah.
And those are our partners now in Casa Tiki. They've been running it now for, I think our 1 year anniversary is,
Congrats.
yeah, in the next day or two.
Congrats.
Couple days, yeah. And they're doing a great job over there. Little Havana is kind of funny. It's like east of 17th Ave kind of goes off, west of 17th Ave. But
It's a little
still,
yeah.
still playing catch up.
Mayweather, I think, just reopened.
Yes,
Did they reopen at the same spot?
they did.
A little tiny spot. So that they're
One block west.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I've been meaning to go by there more recently, just to see how
Yeah.
it's.
The guys are doing a great job over there. They have a great cocktail program going on over there. And yeah, we're just waiting for, things to turn around.
You've obviously had a lot of places, and like me, you just gotta keep at bat. You gotta keep taking swings in order to stay in business.
It's 7 days a week.
What's the worst hit you took?
Oof.
I mean, there's got to be one that stung.
No, it was almost like my university into going into operations.
Okay.
So we took on, when the Opium Group left,
Yes.
Opium Garden.
Yeah.
We took it on as a lease, and we did Clutch.
Oh, I remember.
Remember Clutch?
Yes. Yeah.
So Clutch, we ran that place for 6 months with $0 operating dollars and $0 marketing dollars. You hear what I just said?
I know. Imagine you lasted 6 months, and that place was huge.
It was, and we had a pretty good few little parties there or whatnot, but yeah, that was definitely my first loss in the game, and we definitely learned a lot from that.
What was your takeaway on that?
My takeaway on that is, don't believe what everybody says.
Got it.
Do your research. Make sure that you are spearheading the venture, and don't let anybody else run it for you, because it's not going to work.
Yeah, you got to do the work yourself.
You got to do the work.
There's no shortcuts there.
There's no shortcuts.
You've had these bars, some highly successful. You had Drunken Dragon, highly successful restaurant. But now it seems that you're digging in more into the restaurant world versus the bar world. I mean, even though you do have Foxhole.
Yeah, well, look.
What's your lure of the restaurant versus the bar?
And here's what I tell everybody. Anybody can own a bar.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. You can, a bar is a lot easier to run than a restaurant.
Oh, that's for sure.
A lot of people look at the restaurant business as one of the hardest business to get into. And here's what I will say. When we opened up Foxhole, yeah, we had a lot of people looking at us and trying to invest in us and do. When we opened up Drunken Dragon, people just look at you totally different. It's almost like, oh, okay, if you're able to do this, then, you can go way beyond that.
It's almost like a graduate into another level.
Absolutely. Yeah. And look, for me, are the restaurants as profitable as bars? Probably not. But I can't be in the nightlife business forever.
Yeah.
It does take a toll on you.
Physically?
Physically, mentally, even with your family and the kids, when you got to get up and take them to school, and, it becomes a thing.
How are you balancing that now?
I'm not going out at night as much as I used to.
It's hard, man.
It's really hard. Yeah.
Waking up and look, this is going to air in a few weeks.
Yeah.
For me, I got called by David Sinopoulos. The Space's 25-year anniversary. Woof. And they're like, dude, you should go by. You haven't been back in 8 years since you guys sold, since whatever. I mean, I'm like, I was there for 17 years. It's like,
yeah.
And I'm excited to go back. I would regret if I didn't go back, but it's going to hurt me physically.
For 2 days after.
At least.
Yeah.
At least.
But I'll be there with you. We'll hang out that.
Well, no, perfect.
Yeah.
Honestly, I didn't even know who to call to kind of hang with me at 2 in the morning to go do this.
Call me.
That's a rough one. I mean, we had to line up my wife as like babysitters, and oh man, it's gonna be a tough one. But it's I get to see Louis, see all my old friends.
It's a lot harder, you know, when you're 50 plus to be able to, you know, go to bed at 1, 2 in the morning and gotta be up again at 6.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's just not as easy, I don't know.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not. I got to tell you. So you have all these places. You're now digging into the restaurant, and now you're here at this beautiful place, Yaya.
Oof.
Why here? What inspired you to do Yaya?
You know, funny story. We worked on getting Pelican Harbor for a year.
Pelican Harbor, right?
Yeah.
On the other side.
Right on the other side of this bay here.
Yep.
We worked on getting Pelican Harbor, and one of my new partners here in this venture, you know, he wanted to handle the marina. I wanted to handle he wanted me to handle the food and beverage. And we put this crazy, incredible package together. We put in the, what is it, RDF?
RFP.
RFP.
You put in a bid for the RFP?
We put in a bid for the RFP, and, you know, at the time, won't mention any names, but the new mayor coming in said, no problem, you have it, it's all yours. And then as soon as the new mayor got elected, said, hey, I'm sorry, you got to take that bid back and we're not going to be able to give it to you. So, you know, that crushes you for a while.
It does.
Right? And then I'm a big believer in things always happen for a reason.
Yeah.
3 months later, this landed in our laps and we signed it.
Wow.
Yeah.
You just persevered, powered through.
Exactly.
Ended up with your place in the water still.
Ended up with the place in the water with 14 beautiful docks.
That's great. So does Yaya stand for anything? What was the...
Yaya stands for grandmother or woman in Greek.
Okay.
So, you know, we do have a few dishes done by, you know, certain people's grandmothers.
Okay.
And, you know, other dishes are done by our incredible chef, Todd Zimmer.
Okay.
And, you know, we stuck with the name Yaya.
That's great. What's different about this experience versus other places? Obviously, there's a few places on the water, but not enough. I mean, I think there's a few things here that I think I would point out are quite different than other places.
Nowhere near enough for a place like Miami or Miami Beach, for that matter, not to have enough of these venues on the water.
It's a great advantage.
It is.
People
Really.
pull up on their boat.
Yep. And we're getting tons of them.
Really?
Yeah. We're right on the, what do we want to call this? The waterways that takes you from, in the coastal, that takes you from north to south. Yeah. Okay. Takes you from north to south. And, you know, I put somebody to count boats out here for 2 weeks and we counted over 10,000 boats.
Bullshit.
I swear. From 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. for 14 days.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I actually, now that I think about it, everybody from Ball Harbor, Keystone Point, Belmead,
Sans Souci,
and Sushi,
Game Point, Normandy. I mean, you name it.
everything.
Shorecrest.
And if they want to go towards downtown or out down south, they have to go this way.
They come right in front of us.
And you're on the actual intercoastal, no canal to go through, nothing.
Exactly.
Dock at your own risk, you have your dock master.
We have a dock master, but still dock at your own risk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you service the people on the boats and their raging parties out back, or is it a little more calm?
We have and we will. Yes.
Got it.
Yeah.
When does that happen? Is that like a specific day or time?
It's more Saturday, Sunday vibe.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you're open 7 days a week now.
We're open 6 days a week.
6 days a week now.
Yeah. Mondays we're closed.
You need to sleep one day, brother. And at least
Well,
I clean
I'm
the
still here on Monday.
Yeah,
Yeah, get it ready for the next week.
Yeah. Or a staff maybe needs some rest.
Exactly.
And but you're always prepping, you're always working.
The motto is never not working.
I'm about to eat a Yaya. What are the top 3 dishes you recommend for anybody to eat a Yaya?
Top 3 dishes. I'm definitely gonna say our char grilled oysters are incredible. I'll put them up against anybody. Our flaming cheese saganaki.
Cheese saganaki is amazing, dude. That's the Greek fried cheese.
Oh yeah.
I got really excited.
No, and they do a nice presentation for it. And if I had to put my third, we have I think it's a 30-ounce ribeye. That is, yeah. So our chef worked at Prime 112 for a really long time. And if there's something that he knows how to cook, it's a steak.
I was about to bring that up because I remember having a couple meetings with you, and you would go eat at Prime 112. That was your, I don't want to call it your cafeteria, but
Oh yeah.
it was your spot.
It was definitely our Monday, Tuesday lunch meeting spot for many years.
It was, and you walked in and you're royalty. You walked in there and it was like, yeah. Oh my God. So top 3 is the ribeye, the saganaki, and the char grilled oysters.
Yeah. And if we had to put another plate in there, I would say the roasted Bell Evans chicken. I'll put that up against anybody in town.
Chicken?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Or is it like a half chicken?
It's a half chicken. Yeah.
All right. So Yaya's obviously going to be incredible, or it is incredible. What's next? What projects do you have coming up?
We've been in the works of getting a Drunken Dragon in Hallandale going. We've had, just like mostly everyone in town in food and beverage, a few hiccups with build out and all that type of stuff. But it looks like Drunken Dragon Hallandale is coming to flourish, and it's gonna be 8,000 square feet, 5,000 square foot restaurant with a 3,000 square foot lounge.
Really? So now Drunken Dragon is going to expand.
Yeah.
From just a normal
Restaurant.
Let me tell you something.
Restaurant lounge.
I believe that's a great and smart move. We have a place in Hallandale, a carousel club.
Yes.
And you're going to be down the street.
Yeah.
Hallandale Beach is a small neighborhood, and I believe that community is underserved.
It really is.
And I believe you guys...
It's very similar to West Avenue before Foxhole and Drunken Dragon got there.
You guys will kill it because there's a lack of quality places there.
Yeah.
You're going to smash it, especially you're not... I'm excited for that one. I think I can't wait till you guys open up Drunken Dragon over there. Same menu, similar menu, some addition?
Pretty much similar menu. We're going to probably add sushi to the menu.
Okay.
Which we did not have in Miami Beach, but...
Got it, yeah. And it'll be Korean barbecue?
Yep. 37 grill tables.
Wow. Okay, that's a lot bigger than...
Oh, yeah.
That's a lot bigger.
A lot bigger.
Amazing. You've obviously had all these successes and these hits. Did you have any mentors along the way that you would say, I got to give this person a shout out because of X?
Yeah, I think there's definitely, 3-4 people you could always look back at and say, hey, this guy made a difference in Louis Puig being one of them.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, look, we learned a lot from him.
100%.
Running nightclubs and being, you know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah. I always say this, worked with David Grutman for a really long time, and he was always the hardest working person we ever knew.
Yeah. He still defines hardest worker in the room.
Exactly. So I'm always, I loved working next to him, somebody like Bob Meyers with Kenny and Cal.
Bob Meyers, man.
Remember Bob Meyers?
I love Bob Meyers.
That guy was, he was a machine.
He was.
He was a machine, and I learned a ton from him, whether it was Crowbar Miami or Crowbar New York. Remember when we went and helped them out that? Yeah. Spend a lot of time with Bob Meyers.
Some of those old school guys, they don't build them like they used to, man.
No, we're living in a total different world.
Everybody that you just mentioned, put in the work.
Oh yeah.
They don't take any shortcuts.
Oh look, there's
And they would never ask you to do anything that they weren't willing to do themselves.
no, and look for me, like all those names that I just gave you. You're always gonna have the haters hating on this person, hating on that. But if I work next to you and I know exactly what you did, and now I'm saying, hey, this guy could have been my mentor, like, yeah, those guys put in the work.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Hey, man, hopefully you inspire other people to do the same. I'm sure you're doing it right now.
Yeah.
I, um, I don't know. I think that was a good positive note to almost end things on. Is there anything we didn't cover that I think we should tell people to know? Yaya, where is it exactly? Where's the best place for them to make a reservation?
For anybody who's lived in Miami their whole life, Yaya is located where Mike Gordon's Seafood used to be at.
Okay.
And Mike Gordon's Seafood was open here for 40 years, way before these buildings and the developers came in. But we are at 7999 Northeast Bayshore Court, right on the water with 14 dock slips, open 6 days a week, and lunch Thursday through Sunday.
Honestly, Angel, I would say that number one, I'm super proud of you and everything that you guys have done.
Thank you. And I'm proud of you as well.
Thank you, buddy.
We've been at it for a long time.
We have, man. And listen, man, keep doing what you're doing. You inspire me. Definitely in my early career and today, seeing you plow through adversity, take the career into restaurants, and continue to grow, expand. You're going north with Drunken Dragon. You went south when you did, and we came off the beach. You went south with Casa Tiki. I think there's a lot of people from Miami that are cheering you on. I do have one more, and feel free to cut this off. I do have one more. And feel free to tell me to remove this question if we don't want to talk about it.
No, please.
But did you
Oh, here we go.
did you really slap Diddy back in 2000? What year was it? 2005-ish?
That was 2001.
It was 2001. Tell us that story, because my man had to check the Diddy or Puff back
We
then.
really have to talk about it.
No, we could talk about it. We could cut it out. This might make a good clip, though.
All right, short version of it. Bill Spector has a relationship with Puffy. We all do at this point. We've done a few parties with Puff. Puff calls us and says, hey, coming down, need you to hire security for me. Like, all right, we hire security. Hey, I'm coming with rain, home cooking. Please make sure you have my table outside. Puff, no problem. Your table is ready. Rain happened to be an indoor-outdoor venue. Christmas Day, it's raining, and all the tables outside need to be brought inside. So sure enough, one of the astronaut employees we had working there sits somebody at Puff's table. Puff gets to the club. He starts screaming on Bill Spector. Conrad walks up like, yo, my man. And 3 seconds later, all brawl broke out. So yes, did it go down with Puff? Yes. Security didn't know what to do because we hired security for Puff on that day. So they're like, wait, you guys hired me? What's going on? Sure enough, Puff tries to flee. Police has him handcuffed in the back of the car on 41st Street. This was maybe 2 weeks after he gets acquitted from the J-Lo shocking incident.
Yeah.
So, of course, look, we're never here to try to gain fame off of some other...
Never talked about this.
We just... My first time talking about it.
Yeah.
Even when Hot 97 tried calling us 3 days later, we were like, nope, that never happened.
Yeah.
So, Sure enough, we left Puff out of the car, uncuffed him, came back in the party, and we had champagne the rest of the night.
Amen.
And that's what it is.
That's a hell of a story, man.
No, it's an incredible story, only because, you know,
You stuck by, you know what? You're big on respect.
absolutely.
And you give people respect.
Yeah,
And somebody disrespected somebody for your crew.
absolutely. And we weren't having it. You know, it doesn't matter who you are.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's Bill. I mean, come on.
exactly.
Bill Spector is probably the nicest guy, one of the nicest guys I know.
You know, I tell a lot of people, a lot of the stuff I know in nightlife and its hospitality comes from Bill Spector.
He's great, man.
Yeah,
He's great. I gotta catch up with him. I heard his sushi spot is doing well.
incredible. I just had dinner there with my daughter and my ex-wife, and it was incredible.
Man, I
Yeah.
can't wait to
Gold Standard. Shout out to Gold Standard.
shout out to Gold Standard for sure. I gotta reach out to Bill and do this with Bill. Angel, man, thank you. I enjoyed catching up with you. I got goosebumps. There's
Always, yes.
there's so many things that you mentioned right now.
There's so many stories that the truth is, whether somebody wants to write 1 book, 2 books, 3 books, 3 movies, we got it.
You have it.
We have it.
Thank God social media wasn't around.
Oof. Tell me about it.
You know, but man, I appreciate spending the time with you. This is more like therapy for me, buddy.
Yeah, this is amazing. Yeah.
This is amazing. Thank you, bro. Oof. I appreciate your
Love you, brother.
love you, man.
Yes.